Srimati Mahua Maitra.
Respected Speaker, sir, I stand here opposing the Taxation Laws Amendment Bill 2019. I stand here opposing this bill because once again there seems to be a very haphazard approach towards a better economy. I would like to begin by quoting Christopher Hitchens. That which can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. This government is insisting that there's nothing wrong with the economy, while on the other hand they're telling us that whatever is not right can be fixed by tweaking the corporate tax rate. While I do not object to the reasoning which is in this bill, that corporate taxes in India should be at par with their Asian counterparts. We broadly agree with this. Yes, they should be. We, however, disagree with the reasoning that the reduction in GDP growth can be fixed by tweaking the corporate tax rate. The reduction in GDP growth rate, the reason that large and small corporates in this country today are facing the death knell are because of two decisions that this government has taken, your government has taken. The first decision is demonetization. This was a crippling blow to the economy. Small and medium enterprises have still not recovered. There's no running away from this, madam. The second is that the multi-rate, extremely complicated and onerous implementation of the goods and services tax. We were all part of the GST committee. There's nothing wrong with GST. It is the implementation of the GST that has proven to be a huge problem for this country. Now, this particular tax cut that you have proposed, it only helps the profitable become more profitable. It doesn't do anything to revive a very large part of this economy which is struggling. Why is this struggling? There's an overburden by the tax administration, by the company law administration, and there's a general harassment by the central government, the machinery of the central government on individuals and small companies. If this bill were really to help everybody, especially our SME sector, then the tax rate reduction should apply to all entities. It shouldn't apply just to companies. It should apply to LLPs, to partnership firms, and other non-corporate entities also. That would be a holistic approach. What is further disheartening is that this government has chosen to withhold the direct tax code report from this august House. Take advantage of the breadth of the experience that parliamentarians have. And I'm quite sure that given the past track record that this government has, that we are going to see it secretly show up in the budget, again as a bill, and which has not been thought through. We're very sure this is going to happen. A reduction in corporate taxes only helps those making profits. Most of our businesses are struggling because of insane compliance and harassment, which is being created by this burden, with its sudden shock and awe implementation of laws. There are three reasons why they're suffering. They're suffering because the government refuses to come out with clear and frequent guidelines. The government wants to create gray areas which officials can misuse. Two, companies are suffering because today the biggest outstanding dues in this government are from the central government to the states and from the central government to its vendors. The third reason, they're not suffering because of the tax rate. They're suffering because of these reasons. So by tweaking the tax rate is not going to fix the fundamental problem. Let's go now to the specific clauses in the bill. Mr. Raj has touched on them. Let's go to the new section 115 BAB, which states that 15% new manufacturing incentive shall apply only to new companies created after October 2019 and provided they commission their new unit by March 2023. So existing companies, existing proposals, existing projects cannot utilize the scheme. So that companies which have undertaken long feasibility studies, have got approvals as part of a very long down process for projects that they might be just on the cusp of financing, today they can't take the final investment decision. It doesn't apply to them. So what has a company got to do? They've got to either dividend the money by paying tax and creating a new company, or they shall have to create a subsidiary and increase the compliance burden. So you've got to create a new subsidiary to take advantage of this incentive. Any existing company cannot just set up a new manufacturing unit. This defies common sense. So they're going to have to spend their time transferring approvals. Now banks will have to now fund a new company or a new subsidiary. This may make more time. So projects which will finally make it online are probably going to be 5% than had you included everybody else in your ambit. So are you interested in the illusion of a SOP, or are you interested in really giving a SOP? Let's be clear about that. So if you are interested in really making this work, then this should be applicable to all new manufacturing, irrespective of ownership. Let this give it to partnerships, to proprietorships, to LLPs, all of them. So if the finance minister wants to implement a very focused investment-linked incentive structure, create a structure which small companies, big companies, anyone who does a new capital investment, big or small, would face an environment of compliance certainty. That's what gives people the security to go out and make investments. An atmosphere of compliance uncertainty, of not knowing where I'll be caught out in which loophole, is what is killing investment today. That's the most important thing. The other thing which is in the bill, which is in the amendment, which is very sad to note, is that we want to treat foreigners better than our own citizens. So we have chosen to charge an enhanced surcharge to our citizens. But rich foreign institutional investors, FIIs, get special treatment. They don't have to pay this. So charge everybody or charge nobody. Don't give preferential treatment to foreigners, which you are denying rich Indians. If you want to tax the rich everywhere. Don't sort of tax rich Indians and Indian companies while it's giving benefits to FIIs. That's not fair. So to reiterate, there are three main issues with this amendment bill. One, if it is to help all, especially small and medium enterprises, then the corporate tax reduction from 30% to 22% should apply to all entities. The second, the 15% tax rate for new manufacturing companies incorporated after October 2019 makes little or no economic sense. Make this applicable to manufacturing units of existing proposals as well. And the third is that waiving the FII. This is waiving it for FIIs while keeping it for Indians. This to me seems extremely unfair. So these are the three things. So, Madam Minister, please reconsider these aspects of the bill and focus on a more holistic fixing of the system. We seem to be clutching at straws. You brought the budget in March. This August House stamped the budget. This was your government. You were not finance minister, but it was the government that brought this budget. We fixed it. What happens between March and September that we need an ordinance? You knew that the session was coming in. Why do we need? That means you're facing a sense of urgency. You're facing a sense of urgency that you need to clutch at straws to do something to at least give the illusion that you're taking action. If that is indeed the case, take real action that is going to really fix the problem. This kind of sort of clutching at straws in an environment today when we are coming out with the worst numbers, be it on employment, be it on investment, be it on anything, this is the worst that this country has seen, that your government has also seen. And if this fire comes into the house, all of us are going to be singed. It's going to be all of us. I mean, we all care about the economy. So again, we tell you, entities like BPCL, Bharat Petroleum, this is the family silver. If you're going to disinvest profitable PSUs as well, where does this come out? So again, I'm trying to use this taxation amendment bill to bring forward the issues that are with the economy and to request you, please, when you're putting through this ordinance, take into consideration what we've done, fix the problem holistically. Let's not clutch at straws. Let's not put Band-Aid where we actually need to have major surgery. That's my thing. Thank you very much.